What's up, guys? Today, of course, I'm going to show you some footage of the armored train Behemoth in Battlefield 1 on the map Amiens. It's also available in Argonne, Sinai Desert, and the free DLC map Giant Shadow due out later in the year. From what I've seen and heard, it will spawn to the losing team if the team has a deficit of 75 plus tickets. If the games are closer than that, the train will not spawn. As a general overview, the train holds 6 players total. The driver has complete control over the speed, the direction, well, as far as it will go on tracks, like it's not like going to start driving down the road. The control over the whistle, and the driver also has access to the 57mm gun, which is actually, well, if you've used the mortar in Battlefield 4 where you sort of have a mini-map view and an area where you can put, like, say, the red dot there where I was just hovering over C, where you can sort of have a trajectory. It's a little buggy, it goes through buildings, as you saw. You can sort of put a trajectory toward putting an explosive rounds out. It's pretty similar to the mortar if you've used that in Battlefield 4. And of course that's available in Seat 1. That's the alternate fire mode. The original sight view is basically just as if you were driving the tank itself. All you're doing is just looking through the front of the tank with a bunch of the gadgets. So take advantage of the second view. You can do more damage this way as I split the gap through that doorway. That was pretty nice. Yeah, so that's with that. Every time the driver shoots a shell, the driver view sort of focuses on where the trajectory of that shell will land and then zooms back into the minimap when it's done. Of all of the slots on the tank to further go on, Seat 4 has access to an anti-air cannon. The train also has an anti-armor cannon located towards the front of the train in Seat 2, and if you're familiar with the land ship tank, that cannon is basically what that is, essentially. It also has an anti-air cannon towards the center of the train, an explosive round machine gun which emphasizes splash damage to infantry, and lastly, a machine gun turret to further deal with infantry, and these are respectives in Seats 3 and 5. Seat 6 has a 20mm cannon to round out the armory on the train, so as you can tell, it's nasty. And look, it just missed that guy. The thing is, with this thing, it's extremely heavily armored and has an extraordinary amount of firepower. It can take a beating from grenades, anti-tank weapons, K-rounds, tank shells, attack planes, etc. It usually has access to multiple flag objectives as well, meaning if driving next to an objective can't outright take it, it will obliterate anything trying to take that objective. If you try and ram the thing off the tracks with a tank, for example, you're the one that ends up getting killed instead. Areas on the train can be disabled if you're the one, say, using the train weapons, like say you're using the 20mm cannon on the back. If they focus fire on you, it can disable your area so you can't shoot for a while. But the thing is, it does recover on its own time, so there's no need to bail out. If the enemy cannot steal a spot in the train, so you don't have to worry about that. So say, for example, 75 tickets, the train spawns, and then all of a sudden you quickly make up that 75, the enemy still can't steal it, so don't worry about that. What are the best ways to take this thing out if you're on the receiving end of its destruction? Your team has to be on the same page to take things out because, like I said, heavily armored, and it's got a lot of potential destruction at its disposal. Tanks, the assault kits, and other high damage options have to be focus fired and used quite a bit to take this thing out, because as you can see, the health right to the left of the ticket count, the sort of train with the blue meter there, that's the health meter, so it has a lot of health at its disposal. Anti-tank mines can be particularly dangerous to the thing because the driver's not going to be able to see them, and with the extreme stopping distance, once this thing gets up to a decent speed of momentum, there's no way it'll be able to stop in time. So you can plant some anti-tank mines on the tracks and hope that it smacks into into your mines. You can also use tanks. You can use the anti-tank rounds. You can throw grenades if you happen to be close to it. So that's the ways to deal with it, and you have to focus fire on it. Many games, my team just ignored the objective closest to the train, and with 6 players no longer fighting for the other flags, we just focused on all the other flags and ignored that one while the train destroyed that one objective. And it seemed to work. We just completely ignored the train at times, and it worked out for us. Lastly, Should the train be destroyed and all occupants killed, the credit will go to the person that delivered the final blow. The wreckage that remains and its smoke can be used for some cover if you do manage to take it out around a certain objective. Okay, that's it for that. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and share if you think someone would enjoy it. Have a good one, YouTube.